Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Sun City in Arizona. Hope you're all having a super fantastic, sparkling day. How has your day been? Has it been full of lots of love and fun and laughter today? My day has been really, really good. I got to play you guys. I got to play my kalimba for you guys this morning. So I haven't watched the video yet because I wanted to see if the sound came through with the obnoxious AC unit right behind me. So I want to make sure it comes out okay. So I'll have a listen to that later on. But and so my fun activity that I pulled out of the fun tin today is to have a picnic in a park. So that's going to be interesting because of the temperatures around here. We're up in the 90s, but I figured if I leave the engine running, Zeffy stays in the back seat in her hammock area. I just go into the trunk of the car and make myself a little picnic area in the back there. Um, Throw a couple of cushions in there and that sort of stuff, and I could have a little picnic there. And I'd have Zeffy on her front paws, looking over, going, "I want some too." So I did my grocery shopping today with that in mind. And because of the heat, I don't like having anything I have to cook with on. So the gas cooker is out. Even the Instant Pot is out, although I may pull it out tomorrow to do some hard-boiled eggs because that would be really good to have with the picnic and stuff. Might make some deviled eggs. I don't know. But excuse me. Allergies are like crazy. I mean, they settled down, but we've just come back from inside. From inside, we just come back from inside. Zeffy, we just came back from inside. We just came back inside from outside, and we're out there for a lot longer than I had planned. Only because we met one of the guys in the park out walking Chloe. Chloe is this gorgeous little 2-year-old pup, around the same size as Zeffy. The cutest little round face on her, and I can never remember what type of dog she is. It's an unusual breed that I've never heard of before, but she's absolutely gorgeous, and she loves playing with Zeffy. Zeffy ignores her, so she starts barking at Zeffy. So Zeffy comes back, and he says, "I'm pretty sure these dogs have kangaroos." They get up on their hind legs and fight like kangaroos do. And I'm sort of like, yeah, they kind of do a little bit. But this gentleman lost his wife a week ago. Suddenly. So yeah, it was good to catch up with him because I've been kind of worried, a little worried about him. We just wanted to see how he was doing that, and it looks like he's lost a lot of weight since his wife passed. So, but he says he's waking up at all hours of the night and can't get back to sleep. And I said that's all just part of the grieving process. So to be able to help somebody on their journey, unfortunately, of this process, it feels good. It feels good. But we talked for a little bit. He was happy to stand there and talk and all that. And all I could just feel was my sinuses building up the pressure, and I'm just like, oh gosh. And so I got back to the RV. It wasn't until I got inside and I closed the door and everything and started walking around. And then I just started doing what I do every evening after we get back. I'm not planning to be on live on video after we come back from our walk most nights. So I put on something cooler and not camera worthy to go and just to sit down and veg out for the evening and help me cool off. Then I remembered, oh, I haven't done my live yet. So then I had to go get fully dressed again. So, yes. But got groceries done today and got my groceries done with, and I did the Instacart again because I am not dealing with supermarkets. But I did got the Instacart to deliver them. But I did the shopping with keeping in mind I want cold stuff to eat, stuff that doesn't require heating, stuff that I can take on picnics with me. And I suddenly thought, maybe we look more at those charcuterie boards and stuff. So I did some research online and tried different, and so I got some different things to try, and we'll see how that goes. So Helen's now experimenting with charcuterie boards, so that'll be kind of fun. And I don't need a very big board. I just got a plate that I use because it's the perfect one-person size, and I just put on there the things that I like. So I got some dried fruits in there. I've got some preserves. What else did we get? Cold meats, different types of cheeses, some vegetables that you can eat raw that you don't have to cook. So that's what I was looking at when I was doing my groceries today. Is what do I not have to cook? What can I eat raw? And things that finger food things that I can eat and that sort of stuff too. You got the spreading stuff as well, and got some different cheeses and that sort of thing. So it wasn't too bad. I didn't go too overboard. But, I've got enough that when we go for our picnic sometime this week, that it'll probably be an evening looking at my crazy days. Um, then I have the stuff to make up the picnic and do that. Maybe we'll do that on Sunday. Go for a Sunday drive on Sunday. Oh, now I've got to find my chili bin. Oh, I never thought of that. Oh no, I have a little one. I have a little one with me, and I've got ice packs I can throw in there as well. So we're good. We're good. Figured out the chili bin thing. Um, and so when I finished work this afternoon at 5 o'clock, I was sort of like, you know, I was just feeling a little typewriter because of the heat. And I've got a fan sitting here blowing. I've got the AC up here blowing on me, and it's like 90. It was 99 degrees when we went for our walk this evening. And I was like, yeah, that's just way too hot. Um, so I went and took a little nap, and Zeffie came and cuddled down with me, although she wanted to play more than cuddle. But she still laid next to me for a bit, and then I must have dozed off because the next thing I know, she's sitting there, oh, oh, oh. And so I woke up and said, like, oh, is it time? And noticed the lighting. I thought, oh, is it time to go for a walk now? And the sun was where it was almost past, it was just touching the tops of the houses and the RVs. So it was like the perfect time to go for a walk, so I wouldn't be in the heat of the sun. Everything would be in the shade, but it was still freaking hot out there. So it's been a really good day. Had some interesting things come through the help desk today, and I was sort of like wondering what people were thinking. Do some people take things before they contact a support desk? Because some of their answers are a little weird and crazy, and you've got to do a lot of digging and stuff. And I was really proud of myself. I actually got to use my detective/genealogy skills today to help solve a question, which was real fun. Yeah, it was the way that I had to solve the problem was pretty cool. And it's one of those little genealogy tips and tricks for the current, um, for the nowadays type of thing. So it was kind of fun doing that. So I was like, yes, get to use my skills, yay! But it's been a pretty quiet. Otherwise, it's been a pretty quiet day. Crazy busy work, lots of stuff done, and I've got some genealogy stuff to do because I found out that my mum told me yesterday that her second cousin had passed away, and I was reading his obituary, and I was sort of like, he did all of this. I mean, he was like a fireman, a pilot, a teacher, a dentist, a doctor. What else was in there? It's like his obituary was just started off with like, and I was just like, wow. I was speechless. I knew that he was an intelligent man and stuff. I can't remember meeting him. I may have at some point, but when I'm sitting there and reading his obituary, and it turned and he's got like degrees up the way. He had degrees up the wazoo after his name because he was a doctor. He was actually a doctor, so he was a real doctor. It actually got put that he was on some TV show at one point and they had the minutes and the seconds of when he comes on the screen, and said, it's nice to see a real doctor playing a doctor on the show. And I was like, a real doctor playing a doctor on the show? Well, that's kind of interesting. But his obituary was just fascinating to read. Like the first two lines was all the types of jobs he'd had, from being a teacher to a firefighter to a pilot. I can't remember what else was in there, but I know that he was a dentist at one point. Then he became a doctor. So he had a very, very interesting life. And I didn't know that was in my family. So you never know what you're going to come across or when you're going to come across that information. And this was just one person, and he was 78 when he passed. And he just passed this past weekend. So it was kind of fun and interesting to do all of that, and just to read his obituary. People's obituaries are fascinating things to read, and just to see some of the stuff. Some of them are just sort of like, here's the name's person, he died on this day, that's it, nothing else, that's it. Other ones, they've got this long story that they've got to tell, and then there's other ones that are in between. But obituaries can give you a lot of really good information, and some of the stories they tell through the obituary is really cool. And some of the obituaries are very, very nice and friendly towards the genealogists, because they tell you who the parents were, who they were married to, who their children were, the names of their grandkids, who the children were married to as well, and So it gives you a whole bunch of information, and it turns around and tells you, what occupation they had, what clubs and societies they may have belonged to, something notable that they may have done during their life. So you're now getting you're starting to form a picture of this person, and it's really cool when they do things like this. And someone will say, "Oh, they're a lifelong member of this particular club or society," and it's sort of like, "Oh, well, now that gives you another resource that you can go to find out more about your relative that's mentioned in this obituary, that you can now go and look up the society. You can go say, hey, I had a great uncle or a great aunt or a great grandparent who was part of your society. This was their name and this was their member number. And they were a lifelong member. Can you tell me more about their society? What was their role in the society?" Some of them are little hush-hush type societies where they won't give out any information at all. But some are just sort of like, yeah, come on in, sit down, let's have a chin wag. And but obituaries can be full of information. I love reading obituaries. I love it. That's one part of the genealogy portion that I like, is reading the obituaries. The birth notices the birth notices are hilarious. They have changed over time. Like, birth notice would be like the last name, then Mr. and Mrs. John Smith are proud to announce the arrival of their baby girl. Mother and baby doing fine. Or it might say what day the baby was born. That's it. That was it. That was like back in the 30s, the 50s, that sort of thing. Other ones, and then a few years later, it started changing that, Smith, and then it would have the name of the baby there. Are delighted to announce, Mr. and Mrs. John and Annie Smith are delighted to announce the arrival of their little baby girl, and they'll put the name of the baby there. Came in at this weight and this length at this time on this day, and joined by the proud grandparent and proud grandparent. And sometimes they'll actually go into a little detail on the family. A sister to join her brother Billy and her other sister Hannah, or something like that. So it will go into a little more detail, and then it got scaled back down again, and then it got blown up again. So so birth announcements over time have changed, but they're still very quick and very short. But obituaries can be like the person's name: Smith, John Henry, died March 20th, 2021. At home, suddenly. Funeral, and that's it. Other ones will be a little more detailed. May go into the family, may go into who's, or may go survived by, and then who they're survived by. Others may go into, like, this is the son of da 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 da, and the brother of blah, and the brother-in-law of blah da da da, brother, and then in parentheses they put the spouse's names of the siblings in there and all this sort of stuff. So obituaries are really interesting reading, very interesting reading. So anyway, that's it from me for today. I am going to go and make myself my little charcuterie board. I just got this little plate. It works perfectly. It's the perfect size for one person. So I'm going to go make myself a charcuterie board for dinner and put my feet up and just relax for the evening. And so go have fun. Enjoy your evening. Let us know what fun things you got to do today. Put them in the comments below. What fun things do you have planned for this weekend? Let us know in the comments below. You never know. You never know what's gonna come around. And tomorrow morning we'll be back bright and early for Shake It Up Saturday. And I have to do it bright and early because I have to be online at 8 o'clock for my monthly mastermind group. So yeah, I get some of tomorrow off, like the morning. And so I'm figuring out, okay, the afternoon's probably going to be the housework time, depending on how I feel mentally. But I do have to vacuum and dust and laundry and that sort of stuff too. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how much we get done based on how warm it is. But anyway, have a super fantastic, sparkling evening, and we will catch you guys bright and early tomorrow morning for Shake It Up Saturday. Hey, konera.